Hi Asutosh, I'm Vinita and I'm from BriBooks. And today, first of all, I want to congratulate you for winning the weekly podcast challenge. And I've read your book and it's really exciting. Can you please introduce yourself and talk about, your hobbies or your interest?
Sure. I'm Asutosh Dash. I'm 13 years old and I'm an entrepreneur author at BriBooks, and I've written 4 books which have also got recognized by BriBooks. Apart from writing, I sing and play the piano, and I'm a determined focused student who wants to be a lawyer.
Okay, so piano, you like music.
Yes.
Okay. Um, Ashutosh, I was reading your book and I've read your books. You've written books on travel, different places, thriller, and this time you have written a very different book. And the title itself talks about peace, searching for peace, searching for calmness. Uh, Reading your previous work, I want to ask you that how did you decide upon this particular theme or topic for your book?
So it goes back to when I published my first or second book, where my music teacher, he felt like to write about peace and harmony, and I'll get a lot of fame. Many other people also recommended me to write on peace and wisdom, so I thought to give it a try this time.
Okay, okay. And there is a very beautiful part, in your books, which says, um, I realize that attaining inner peace holds greater significance than pursuing the offender. So this book is like, it's about a child, uh, trying to find out. Um, so, the plot is very mature, right? And, uh, it's it's a very mature and a very thought of a person who's seen a lot in life. So I'm curious to understand that you've even used Buddhist quotes in between. Uh, that uh, how is the journey of writing this book? On a particular subject like this.
So first I read some other books where like I got the idea of having a flight into it, like having a flight reaching another country when you find out some shocking news. I read some other books and I wrote it. And then I kept thinking for around 2 or 3 days that how do I bring inner peace into this? So then he thought, why not I add some quotes? Why not I add like the shlokas which I read from Bhagavad Gita into the book?
Okay, okay. And you know, how much time, what all it took you to write this book, and do you even because you have written books for almost every season, right? So do you ever face this particular feeling of writer's block? Sometimes we have the idea, but we get stuck while writing and we are not able to proceed, how the book needs to be read. So do you ever feel when you're writing that you know reach that corner?
I have felt really discouraged and I faced writer's block so many times while writing all my 4 books. During that time, I just left writing and I played some music, I went for a walk. I just did a lot of other activities that don't include writing. And then after a few days, I came back to writing the book, where I gathered new ideas from everyday conversations, everyday life.
Okay. So anybody helped you, you have picked up this character. Is it from a real life incident or you got inspired by somebody? How did you web the story?
This is not a real life incident. This is just fiction.
Okay, okay. And what are your personal favorites? Since you're writing almost every different category, what kind of books you like or you feel excited reading?
I used to like these crime thriller books, and now I'm starting to read some spiritual books because I've written kind of a spiritual book.
So, any book that you have recently read, or anything that any incident or any article that has inspired you?
Inspired me to.
So, like since you're writing, you're reading also. Anything, any incident, any recent activity, or any article that has inspired you to write this subject on this subject?
So first it was my music teacher who had inspired me. And also there is a quote in my book, peace comes from within, don't seek it without. It's by Buddha. I read that quote like 2 or 3 times in my life, and I thought, why don't I add this to make a twist in the book?
Okay, okay. So, since you're in a growing age, um, and you have also mentioned in your book about mental peace, calmness, and uh, subject like where there is which are more kind of more soothing to the soul. So. Um, do you follow anybody? Do you read any books on spirituality, or is it like you just felt something from inside and so you kind of you're following your inner gut?
While writing Searching Serenity, I felt my inner gut. But then now I started reading spiritual books because I've written one spiritual book, and I thought by reading spiritual books I can think of writing more.
Okay. And when did you discover that you want to write books? What was the that aha moment that you kind of decided that yes, I want to web stories and I would like to become an author?
It was at the age of 8 or 9 when COVID actually was had struck the world. I just spent like most of my time reading other books and getting ideas to write a book, but I never knew where to write it or where to publish it. And then after like a long time, BriBooks had introduced their first competition in India, National Young Authors Fair 2022. So I thought, why don't I publish one of my stories there?
Okay, okay. So do you find it easy to write on books?
Yes.
And whenever you if oh sorry, I want to ask you that when you're writing your books, so you pick up a story first, I mean a plot, or then you look for characters, or there's a character in your mind, and then kind of weave the story around the character. How does it work? How do you start writing on
So
anything?
for me, there is a character in mind, and then whatever I have thought before even writing the book, I just write that, and then from writing the book, I get new ideas from everyday life, etc.
So, is there any inspiration in your environment? Anybody who encourages you to, tap this potential of yours?
The most important lesson in writing is the power of support. Like I've been fortunate to have unlimited support from my grandparents, parents, teachers, family, friends, and of course your BriBooks team. Their encouragement, guidance, and trust in me have been the accelerator of my car to success.
So, I'm sure that you must have writing another book already,
Yes.
and if you are comfortable to, guide me, that is what is the plot like this time? Is it something very different, like because I've read your on Indian Railways, then you had written a book from Gujarat to Guwahati. So, every time you're picking up a different category of writing. So, I hope, you are, doing something different this time, or is it a thriller or suspense or a horror book or whatever?
It's something like Searching Serenity, where there is thriller and there is more spirituality than the thriller.
So, you're writing
More
a
of
sequel. You're writing a sequel. You're continuing with the
it's
part
not a
one.
sequel. It's
Oh,
not a sequel, it's different.
okay, okay. It's a new this thing subject altogether. And what
Yeah.
are your hobbies apart from music? I mean, do you plan to take up writing as when you grow up, as a profession also, or is it
Like
just
you can
to unwind yourself or express yourself in a very creative manner?
you can never stop writing. There is one thing. You also need to promote, sell your books, and then when I had come for the recent event of BriBooks for my book Mangled Legs, we had the firefight chat there. Ami sir, he had asked one question in the firefight chat, will you write another book? I was not part of it, but the other authors said that one person said that he will not write a book. One said that he will write one more book like that. But you can never stop writing. Once I finished writing Gujarat to Guwahati, my creativity he came to write about trains because I really love trains.
Yeah, that book is really nice. I mean, it was very informative. I got to learn so much when I read your book about the trains, Indian railways, and uh, it's kind of a masterpiece, I can say. Uh, Tell me one thing that, like you said, you can never stop writing. How much time do you take usually to, complete your work? Uh, I mean, do you write in one flow or do you take time? Like you write when you're free? Because you have school.
I,
You're in which class, Asutosh?
I'm in eighth grade.
Okay, so there must be a lot many, activities in the classroom and homework. So how do you manage? How do you routine yourself that you're able to, write good books even?
On the weekdays time, I spend all of my time in studies and I sometimes stay up till 2 in the night completing whatever is supposed to be done for the entire week or so on just a single day of the week. The weekend time when I don't have anything to do, when I'm free, I just start writing that time. And when I'm free, like we have these holidays, Dashera, Diwali, Christmas, vacation, that time I spend most of my time in writing.
That's great. And how is the selling part? I mean, how do you promote and sell your book? Because
So
writing is
firstly,
one part of it, which is once you've written, published, then, but I think promoting your book is quite a journey. So how do you do it? And did you feel any blocks or any kind of uh, problems where you felt that, oh, it's difficult or discouraged or encouraged? How do you do that?
so we first shared the book link with our network, friends, family, and they said that they'll promote it wherever they have to. I also told my teachers just common network. Then to go a bit bigger, I thought why not I create a small promotional video showing my awards from earlier and giving a gist about this book. And that also went really successful. Many people saw it, many people bought the book, seeing that. And then there is a open mic event in happening every month in my locality. People just gather together, they play music. Since I'm a music lover, I also enjoy being there. And I thought, why not this month? I talk about my books so that I get some more attention and I get some more sales. Many people congratulated me, many people promoted me. and then many people wanted to have a book reading session. So the next month I had a book reading session at my
Lovely.
locality. People came, they read all of my four books, they bought my books, and they have left lot of comments.
So book reading sessions usually, uh, that is the toughest part, to read your book in a manner that it really attracts the and holds the attention of the listeners, usually because people like different stories, right? They may be somebody who might just like thrillers, and so this particular part of, holding a reading session, how was your experience? Were you nervous, or did you have any thoughts before going in for that? Can you share that journey of this particular experience of yours?
This is a book reading session, it's not a simple speech or anything that you have to be prepared for. You
Yeah.
have to be prepared there and then and there. Like you can't just say a simple speech and people will be asking lots of questions. It can be of any different topic. So I was totally unplanned for this. I just carried my book copies and was at the event, and people started coming in. They read my books and they asked me so many questions that I had to immediately think of something then and there. And I did not feel nervous because I've been part of a public speaking group. And the main thing in public speaking, even if you join anything, like you can't feel nervous. You need to be confident in wherever you're speaking, like how I'm speaking here in this interview.
How do you manage that at such a young age? I mean, we all get nervous. Even I get nervous when I have to, go and talk in front of, say, 20 people or something. How do you, balance it out so well? I mean, can you give tips to, your age children who are out there, who will watch your podcast? Can you give some tips how they can write better, they can promote better, and they can also, hold book reading sessions like you have done?
So my first tip is to get some inspiration. It can come from anywhere, from everyday life, from a trip you had, like childhood memory, or the diverse culture of India, where I wrote my first book, Gujarat to Guwahati. It can be trains, it can be cars, it can be anything you like. Just gather ideas around you in your everyday life. Then, when you have your inspiration, then it is to start writing. But don't worry about getting it perfect on the first try. Just let your ideas flow, allow your creativity to take over. And writing is just a process, it is not something big or something small. Challenges don't block, they just divert the road. Then you need to publish your book. You can use like BriBooks. You can do your research on publishing houses. You can find anyone that is good for you. And then you need to market your book after publishing it. You can have book reading session. You can even say it by word of mouth. You can go to any author event, whatever is suitable for you. Then never stop writing. Like your creativity just flows after you finish publishing one book. Like how my creativity is flowing rapidly that I've published four books within 1 year's time. And be consistent, be dedicated, be disciplined. And there were times when I felt really discouraged when I faced writer's block, but I never gave up. I just left some time for writing. And then after some time when I got my idea, I came back and started writing.
So it's been quite a journey because writing your first book to coming to this fourth book. Uh, how do you feel now? What is the experience? What is different in your experience from writing your first book and this book that you have written? There must be not many changes that you have undergone um, in your writing styles, probably in your the way you observe things around you. There must be a lot of inner transformation that you must have undergone during the entire process of starting to write to being able to publish and promote, and now holding a reading session, book reading session. What is the transformation, and how it has been? Can you share your experience? What all it gave you in terms of the plus and the minuses, we say. So, how much have you, explored yourself during this whole journey of starting to write stories and coming till here, till this point? What is the transformation? How?
But firstly, I feel so proud of myself, like writing books. I never really thought that Gujarat to Guwahati, I thought that I'd have not written it really well. Even now, I do think that I haven't written it really well. But people say impossible equals to impossible. I didn't really think that I'll even get into, I'll not even get a printed certificate on A4 size paper. But here behind me is stands a huge certificate given by Ami sir. I feel really proud of myself, like writing books, coming to this level that I'm even talking here. I feel such honored, and I've completely surrendered myself to writing. Like I explore myself in every way possible so that it generates new ideas in writing.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh, and you have really encouraged me, and I really liked in today's session when you said this thing that one doesn't have to aim to be perfect when you're writing. It's a process that we can, if we continue to write and continue to persevere and undergo all the challenges and then face them and then continue to uh, be better than yesterday. So this is a very beautiful thing that I have learned from you today, and I wish you all the best, and I wish you that you write many more books, and you really develop and become a very good author in coming years. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your blessings may stay.